On a very, very serious subject, though, we want to begin this half hour with a beautiful teenager from Ohio and the spur-of-the-moment decision that haunted her until the end. We're going to talk to her grieving mother in just a couple of minutes. But first, here's NBC's Kevin Tibbles.
She was young, pretty, a perfectly normal student, and seemingly had the world by the tail until Jessie Logan made one awful mistake. Her mother, Cynthia.
She snapped. It was just too much for an 18-year-old girl to go through.
A year ago, using her cell phone, she took a nude photo of herself and sent it to her boyfriend. It's a new practice among teens that's come to be known as sexting. But when they broke up, she was betrayed, and that compromising photo was forwarded to the cell phones of hundreds of other teens. Jessie became the focus of ridicule and abuse.
She was being attacked and tortured, actually, by people. Things were being thrown at her.
Humiliated and frightened, last May, Jessie warned of the dangers of sexting by giving an interview in silhouette with her voice altered to NBC affiliate WLWT in Cincinnati.
I still get harassed and stuff, and I'm sorry.
Her friends say Jessie started to spiral downward.
When she would come to school, she would always hear like people calling her, "Oh, that's the girl who sent the picture. She's just a whore. She wants attention."
Still, in spite of the ongoing harassment, Jessie graduated and was looking forward to getting on with her life. Then, last July, she attended the funeral of a teen who had committed suicide, which may have put her in the wrong state of mind. Jessie returned home and did the same thing.
And I scanned the room, and her closet doors were open. And I walked over into her room and saw her hanging. Her cell phone was in the middle of the floor.
You just never think that a person like Jessie would even think about doing something like that.
Numerous cases of sexting have been reported around the country. The problem, doctors say, teenagers are often unable to recognize long-term consequences.
In the moment, it's to a teenager just fine. It's when it goes to the whole school or to the employer or to the college admissions office. That's when the trouble, and that's what they're not thinking about.
It is something that haunted Jessie Logan.
I just want to make sure that no one else will ever have to go through this again.
A young girl's mistake, a lifetime of anguish for those she left behind. For today, Kevin Tibbles, NBC News, Chicago.
Cynthia Logan is Jessie Logan's mother. Perry Aftab is an internet safety expert. Ladies, good morning to both of you. And Cynthia, our deepest condolences. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
How are you coping with this? It's been about 8 months.
It's very difficult. It's still difficult. She's my only child. And I'm trying my best to get the message out there. We've tried to go through the law. We had 6 attorneys that said that they couldn't help us. The school in the very beginning, when my daughter went to the school and went to the officer, all he said was that he would go to the other school that was the picture was disseminated from,
right.
Speak to that 16-year-old and have her remove the picture and never speak to my daughter again.
I know you were aware that Jessie was being harassed at school. She
Yes.
was starting to skip school. Were you aware of the magnitude of it, do you think?
No, I only had snapshots, bits and pieces. It until the very last semester of school, I was getting letters from the school every single day that she was truant or she was skipping school.
And when you talked to her about it, what'd she say?
That they were harassing her, and I gave her an option of doing school at home through the internet. And she said no, she wanted to continue to do this. But I said, Jessica, you know, we really need to talk to the parents. She said, no, I need to do something else. I'm going to go on the news. And that's what she did. She did this.
She felt that if you talked to the parents, it would open her up to even more ridicule because they would tell the...
She was really afraid of these kids.
As a parent, Cynthia, what gets me here is that prior to this mistake, this sexting episode, this is a normal young girl. This is not a girl with violent mood swings.
She was vivacious. She was fun. She was artistic. She was compassionate. She was a good kid.
And she had no idea that this pushing the send button
to her, the guy she was dating,
could ever spiral into this.
Absolutely not.
Harriet, no laws? Are there
There are laws, Matt, here. And when we talked about her being a good kid, a normal kid, those are the most of the ones that are sending out these images. 44% of the boys said that they've seen sexual images of girls in their school, and about 15% of them are disseminating those pictures when they break up with the girls.
But when they do that, when they disseminate those images, if they are nude images, is there no law that covers that?
There absolutely is a law. It depends on the age of the child. If somebody's under the age of 18, it's child pornography, and even the girl who posts the pictures can be charged. And they could be registered sex offenders at the end of all of this. Even at 18, because it was sent to somebody underage, it's disseminating pornography to a minor. There are criminal charges that can be made here.
What I don't understand is if she sent it to this boy, it was between the two of them, okay? It went through a school system. Why aren't the schools held responsible? They can send me truancy letters in the parents' names. They can call me and tell me that she skipped school, but they will not send me a letter saying that there was a sex photo being
Well, now schools are being
disseminated.
held liable when they're not taking action in the case of real-life bullying, some cyberbullying. The question is jurisdiction, and once we start talking, at the end of the show, I hope that we're going to be working together, and I'm going to get her involved in a huge campaign to allow kids to understand consequences of this and allow schools to understand what they need to do to keep our kids alive.
Is that, Cynthia, is that why you're talking now? Because you haven't spoken really much about this in the last 8 months. Is that what you'd like to see happen?
Absolutely.
Some sort of change of rules?
Absolutely. The officer, as a matter of fact, called the local newscaster last night and told her that he gave my daughter the option of prosecuting. That wasn't so. Absolutely not true. And if he did, why didn't I get a notice in the mail that he gave her that option?
I think parents who are watching this are probably going to be grabbing those cell phones and checking the computer a third and fourth time just to make sure that some lesson is learned from
That's
this.
it. And if you don't ask, they won't tell.
I think
Absolutely
you're brave to come out and talk about it.
Absolutely.
Cynthia, thank you very much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And again, our condolences.
Thank you.
Perry, thanks.
Thank you, Matt.
Always good to see you.